Hey, what's up everybody? This is Like It's 1985, and today we are going to take a look at the knockoff, oversized Transformers Dark of the Moon Fireburst Optimus Prime figure. And this is a oversized figure, so it is definitely oversized. And to start off the review, let me show you a size comparison with the original Hasbro Voyager Fireburst Optimus Prime figure here in vehicle mode. Yeah. Quite a bit of difference. This is basically a leader class size figure, and you can see the differences there in terms of just size. I really love it when the knockoff manufacturers make a oversized figure. It just really is interesting to me how they do that. But you can see it's basically the same mold. It's just been upsized to a leader class type of size class. Now there are other differences, of course. You can see the blue here in comparison with the blue here. This is definitely a lighter blue, more of a, I would say, a traditional Optimus Prime blue. Here we have a darker blue on the original Hasbro figure. You can see on the cap section here, the Hasbro version has these designs here, whereas they're not on here. And looking at the top of the vehicle, as you recall with the original, you can see here that it has the honeycomb translucent orange plastic here on top of the cab and also on the hood. Well, the translucent plastic extends all the way from the back to the front on the knockoff, and as you can see, it's a different color. It's a sort of a lighter aqua blue, I'd say. So you can see there a comparison, and basically, what's cool about it is the knockoff actually has the translucent plastic in this area here, whereas the original does not. This is just a standard plastic here in this section right here. So you can see the front end here on the grill. The knockoff has some red highlights there. It doesn't have the Autobot symbol as the original Hasbro one does. And of course the windshield there is cast in a different color plastic, but you can see the actual mold is exactly the same. It's just been upsized to this fantastic leader class size figure. Knockoff actually has, I would say, better paint applications. I mean, if you look at the chrome here on the smokestacks here, there is some paint application here, but it's more of a gunmetal gray or more of a subdued silver, whereas here it's definitely chrome. Same thing with this bit here. You can see it's kind of sort of a bland color in comparison to the chrome here. So really nice job on the paint applications with the knockoff. I'm pretty impressed with that. So the transformation is the same. The other difference is the weapons. Now the original Hasbro version came with this gun / battle axe, whereas the knockoff comes with this weapon here. You can see it functions like this. You push on the back, and let's see. There we go. And this actually can peg into the back here if you want, like that. You can peg it in, because there's space in the cap section, you can peg it in like that for storage. There are also ports. You can see the ports on the knockoff are the same as on the original. So you got ports here, of course on the corresponding sides over here too. So you could, if you wanted to, plug it in on the side here, if you wanted to, for that type of effect, or back here. So there is that. So as you can see, the weapon itself is just very large as well. It's, a comparison there with the original Hasbro release in vehicle mode. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and transform this off camera, and we'll look at the comparisons of the robot modes, Hasbro versus the oversized knockoff. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about robot mode. Now there is one thing about robot mode I should mention, is the fact that the knees in particular are extremely loose. We've seen loose joints from Hasbro releases, but this is knockoff loose in terms of the knee joints. Very frustrating to deal with if you're trying to pose the figure. Standing up just like this without messing around with the figure, just fine. you try to move the figure or pose it in a certain way, it's going to flop over backwards. But let me go ahead and start off this part of the review with a size comparison with the original. And yeah, you can see quite a size difference there. You can also see the color difference. The darker blue here with compared to the lighter blue, which I actually prefer. This shade of blue here looks better to me, more pleasing. But there you go. I can try to give you a side view, but I'm afraid this figure might fall backwards. Well, maybe I'll be able to get away with it. Okay, barely. But you can see there, again, the size difference. So, articulation is going to be the same as the original figure, but let's go over it really quickly. Swivel here at the neck, which I believe is the same as the original figure. Actually, no. The original figure does have a ball joint, so I stand corrected. So this one is just a basic swivel. You got rotation at the shoulders, loose joints at the shoulders, rotation at the bicep. You got the articulation at the elbow, like that. A nice double bend, but that's really for the transformation as well as articulation. You got the hands, which are on ball jointed wrists. You got the swivel at the waist. You got rotation at the hips. Legs can go out to the side like that. And then you have the floppy joints. Floppy knee joints. So you got those to deal with, and then you have articulation here, just above the ankle. And that is your articulation for this figure. So I guess there are a bit of differences, noticeably in the head. This is a basic swivel, whereas on the original figure it was a ball joint. And you can see he's... yeah. So there's that problem there. In terms of the weapon, of course the usual locations you expect to mount the weapon are applicable here. You got the fist there, you can put it in his fist, although the arm then flops around like, like that. So there's limited posability, I guess, with that, because it won't hold the pose. And that, I believe, well, you can mount the weapon back here if you want on the backpack. But that is about it, I believe, for the mounting points, excuse me, for the weapons. So take a look at the head sculpt, because that's interesting as compared to the original here. So similar design, but I wouldn't say it's exactly the same. And then again, you have the different coloring as well. Nice paint apps here at the chest, nice silver, which is good, as well as in the lower ab here, pretty nice. So there you go, Optimus Prime. Do I recommend you get the figure? Well, yeah. I think I got it for around, I want to say $40. I'll double check when I finish this review and put the annotation or the correction there if I need to correct myself. But I think it was around $40. So yes, I paid a little too much, or a lot too much, depending on your opinion, for a knockoff. I do like the fact that it's oversized, though. The size really is the selling point for me, because that is really cool to have an upsized figure. Not too crazy about, I mean, I prefer to have KO figures that are from like the Classics line, or from the Prime line, or from Generation 1. This obviously is from a Dark of the Moon figure. But it's really cool nonetheless to have a figure this large as compared, again, to the original. So there you go. Alright, well, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys and gals later.